Hello world, I hope y'all are doing well. Today's topic is the Sidr module for Drupal. Most modern websites are responsive, that is, they work equally well on desktops and handheld devices, and this video is about a small module called Sidr that I wrote a few years ago, and it helps you configure accessible mobile menus so that your websites look cool. So let's get started. In its heart, the Sidr module relies on the jQuery Sidr open source library. Feel free to check out their website for more information. In order to start using the module, the first thing that you need to do is install the module. After the module files have been installed by Composer, you can enable the module with the drush command or through the admin interface. After installing the module, if you go to the Drupal status report page, you should see the Sidr libraries as not installed, along with some instructions to install them. Since most modern Drupal websites use Composer to manage their dependencies, with the new version of the Sidr module, you can install the Sidr libraries using Composer. To do that, you have to modify the composer.json file in the root of your project and add a few lines. The first line that you want to add is an entry under the repositories section of your composer.json. This enables Composer to install packages from assetpackagist.org. The next step is to add an entry called npm asset to the installer type section. Finally, we add an entry under the installer path section to tell Composer exactly where to install the libraries. Once that is done, simply run composer install and the Sidr.js libraries will automatically be installed inside the libraries folder of your Drupal installation. At this point, if you visit the Drupal status report page, you should see the Sidr libraries as installed. The Sidr module comes with some global settings. You can access them from Configuration, User Interface, Sidr Settings. The most important setting on this page is the Sidr theme. Personally, I never choose a Sidr theme, I just leave it at bare. The bare theme gives you the independence of writing your own CSS and modifying your Sidr panel appearance according to your needs. The other two checkboxes are auto-close options, which are self-explanatory, so I will not go over them in this video. One of the advantages of the Sidr module is that it works with any kind of block, not only the menu blocks. Before we configure a Sidr panel, we first need to prepare the content that will go inside that menu. I have set up 3 different blocks inside a region named Mobile Menu. Once the menu content is ready, the next step is to create something called a Sidr trigger block. Since I'm using my own site for this demo, I already have a Sidr trigger block configured, so I'll simply click on the configure button and show you what's inside. The first field on the block configuration page is the title. You can give it a meaningful title with which you can identify this block in the administration area. This will not be visible to the user. Next, you need to type in some text which will be visible on the trigger button. This button will expand and collapse the Sidr panels. Next comes the source setting. This is where you will add jQuery selectors or CSS selectors for the items that you want to display inside the Sidr panel. All my items are inside a region called Region Mobile Menu, so I have written down its CSS selector. Next, you can choose the side of the screen in which the Sidr panel will live, that is, the left or the right. Usually it's on the left, so I'll leave it at left. Next are the advanced settings. Most of these options have good descriptions if you have to edit them, but they are pre-configured so that you don't have to configure them. The setting that I use the most in here is the trigger icon, where you can specify some HTML which you can later style as an icon which will be displayed inside the trigger buttons. After you have configured everything, just go down and click the Save button. Et voila! You have successfully used the Sidr module to create a cool mobile menu for your website. You might have to write some CSS before your menu looks as cool as mine though. So I am Gregarious, and this is where I leave you. I hope you like the module, and I hope you use it in your next project.